Faith and beliefs. Iman or faith is a religious term. If something is accepted with the certitude of the heart, then this is called Iman. The foundation of this word is Iman in God. If a person accepts the Almighty such that he submits his heart and mind to Him to the utmost and is happy at all his decisions, then, in the terminology of the Quran, he is a mu'min, or a true believer. It is this very essence of faith on account of which the Quran demands from a person that besides substantiation from the heart, his words and deeds should also testify to it. Thus it calls every act of virtue emanating from Iman an essential quality of a believer. No doubt, in the eyes of the law, every person who professes faith in Islam with his tongue is a mu'min. The extent of his faith can also not be ascertained as far as law is concerned. However, as far as true faith is concerned, it is never static. The faith of a person grows stronger when he remembers God and hears His revelations and witnesses His signs in the world within him and that around him. The Quran has compared faith to a tree whose roots are deep in the soil and branches spread in the vastness of the sky. Same is the case of one's faith growing weaker. Thus, if a person, instead of making it stronger through sound knowledge and righteous deeds, does acts which are against the requirements of faith, it grows weaker, and in some cases is totally wiped out. It is evident from this that both faith and righteous deeds are essential to one another. Thus, just as righteous deeds are necessary for faith, similarly, faith is necessary for righteous deeds. At all places, the Quran has stated this professing faith to be the very first condition for salvation. This faith consists of the following 5. 1. Belief in God. 2. Belief in the angels. 3. Belief in the prophets. 4. Belief in divine books. 5. Belief in the Day of Judgment. 1. Belief in God. Allah is the name of the being who is the creator of the heavens and the earth and all other creations. Since the very beginning, this name has been specifically used for the Lord of this world. Before the advent of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, in the times of Arab Jahiliyyah also, this name was used for him. This word was also one of the remnants of the religion of Abraham ﷺ, which the Arabs inherited. An acknowledgement of the existence of God is found innately in man's nature. The Quran says that this matter manifested itself in the form of a pledge. It refers to this event as a real-life incident and not something metaphorical. Since man has been sent here for trial, the whole incident has been erased from his memory. However, its essence is etched on his heart and ingrained in his soul, and nothing can obliterate it. Consequently, if man is reminded of it in the absence of any hindrance in his surroundings, he leaps to it the way a child leaps to its mother, even though it never saw itself emerge from her womb, and is drawn towards her with such conviction as if it already knew her. A person feels that this pledge of his with the Almighty was the answer to a very natural need found within him. Once he found it, it was as if all the requisites and demands of his psyche were fulfilled. The Quran says that this testimony of man's inner self is so undeniable that as far as the providence of God is considered, man will be held accountable before God merely on the basis of this testimony. Besides this innate guidance, man has also been equipped with the ability of deriving conclusions from what he hears, sees, and feels, conclusions which are actually beyond these faculties. A simple example to illustrate this is the law of gravitation. An apple falls on the ground. When a stone is to be lifted from the ground, strength must be exerted. It is difficult to ascend stairs than to descend them. The moon and the stars move in the skies. Man has been witnessing all these phenomena for centuries until it was Newton who discovered that they are as a result of the law of gravitation. This law itself cannot be observed. However, it is accepted as a scientific reality in the whole world. The reason for this is that all theories and known facts are in harmony with it. All observable realities are explained by this law, and as yet no other law is able to explain various phenomena as it has done. This process obviously is the derivation of the tangible from the intangible. When a person makes use of this ability of his and studies the world around him, then this study of his also vouches for this very reality found in his inner self. Thus he sees that everything of this world is a miraculous manifestation of creativity. Everything has deep meaningfulness. It has been created with great diligence and thoroughness. There exists amazing wisdom, planning, usefulness, and order. There are found superb mathematical and geometrical realities whose only justification is the fact that they have a creator, and this creator is not an uncontrolled and unrestrained being. On the contrary, he has an unfathomable mind. This is because if power does not emanate from a wise and all-knowing being, then it should be mere tyranny. The truth of the matter is that this is not so. This expression of power and strength has aptness about it. It is also very harmonious and is very advantageous, and produces great marvels which cannot be produced by an uncontrolled and unrestrained force. Although these testimonies were sufficient, however, in order to leave people with no excuse in rejecting them, the Almighty took a step further. He initiated mankind by a human being who directly heard from God, saw His angels, and in this manner bore direct witness to the truth. The Almighty took this step so that after the death of Adam, the first human being, this information could be transmitted to the descendants of Adam, generation after generation, and so that the concept of God and the hereafter should not become alien in any period of time, in any place on the earth, and in any generation of mankind. Not only this, once Adam and Eve were sent to live in this world, the Almighty for a considerable period of time made a means for them to know and judge if their faith and deeds were acceptable to God or not. This was like making every person of that time directly experience and observe the truth, so that he too could become among the witnesses among with his progenitors. The means adopted for this purpose was that people would offer sacrifice before God. Then, as a sign of divine acceptance, fire would descend from the heavens to consume this sacrifice. It is evident from this discussion that the existence of God is an obvious reality whose conception has been transmitted to man from his ancestors and whose testimony is borne by both matter and by life. However, who is this being? What are his attributes? What are the laws and practices he has set for himself? These are the questions which necessarily arise in the mind of a person who wants to comprehend Allah. This comprehension is essential for faith. When the Quran demanded from people to profess faith in God, it answered these questions. In the following pages, we will take a look at these answers. 1. Being. The Quran has explicitly stated that no mind can comprehend the being of God. The reason for this is that the being who has created these means of comprehension can certainly comprehend human beings, but these means are in no way able to comprehend Him who comprehends these means.